After a thrilling trio of heat races yesterday to set the field for today's race, it is time for the main event, the 1UP Turbo Truck Series race number 7 of the 2026 season at the Illinois State Fairgrounds, the Springfield Mile. This is one of the high-ticket races on the Truck Series schedule, and we are so thrilled to be back once again for 75 laps with 42 of our best drivers ready to take it on in search of racing glory. And alongside me in the booth to bring you all the action for today's race, James Ellison, just as it was yesterday. And speaking of yesterday, those heat races were something to behold just to make this race. Now the race is here, and everybody's going to have to be on their toes for a lot longer in order to score the big win.
Oh, absolutely. You saw the fights in the heats yesterday trying to make it in the show, and obviously we had 3 who did not get to make the show, which is always sad to see drivers not being able to make shows, but there's always other chances. But at least this time they got to show what they were made of before they had to go home. But for those who made the show, it's big, especially because we've had a couple of drivers who have been struggling to make races that have made the show, to my recollection, and I'm looking forward to seeing what each and every one of them could do.
Sounds like a plan to me, and with that being said, we've got a big starting lineup to bring it to you, 42 trucks strong. We can now bring you the starting lineup for today's 75 laps of action, and it's an all FPM front row, with David Wells defending his win in the Heat 1, while AF Walsh stormed through the field to win Heat number 2. Austin Scott starting third. He stormed from even further back in the pack to win Heat number 3. Started near the back of the field in that race to make his way to the win. And Cal Farrell, Curtis Stevenson, Brandon Beal, the second place finishers in the heats. They start in positions 4 through 6. But you're right, we've got 2 drivers today making their first starts of the season. Nazary Romashko starting 25th, Benjamin Snyder starting 33rd. So I hope those guys have a solid, clean day, because they're going to need it to make up the deficit they've had. Overall, we've got a lot of great stories, and I'm looking forward to getting this race started.
Oh, absolutely! It's going to be a lot of fun. Last year was a lot of fun, obviously to my benefit as a team owner. But this year, I am really excited to see how the dynamic is going to, how different the dynamic is going to be, because we got so many different drivers in compared to last year.
Absolutely. Well, we've done enough talking now. I think it's time to get some racing under our belts, why don't we? It's the 1UP Turbo Truck Series from the Springfield Mile, race number 7 of the season. It's coming at you live in just a short while. Stay tuned for that. This is going to be a good one, no matter where in the world you're watching from. David Wells on the inside, AF Walsh on the outside. We're getting ready for the main event here at the Springfield Mile. 42 trucks strong, leading us towards the start-finish line. The green flag is in the flagman's hands. It's out and in the air. We're racing for the main at the Springfield Mile, and Wells is off to a pretty good start. He leads the charge down in the turn 1. Look at all these trucks fanning out. 3 wide already as the field accelerates out of turn 2.
Yeah, a little bit of sliding there as Scott takes the second spot away for now, but yeah, that's going to change hands quite a bit, as will potentially the lead. Speaking of leaders, we had one. Here's one of our leaders from his heat in the 08, Sailor. I'm a little tongue-tied here. He's trying to get up there and continue that hot streak he's been on.
Yeah, he's already won half of the opening 6 races this season. Can he go 4 for 7, I wonder, to get the year off on the right foot? He's now getting underneath Austin Scott. He's already 3 wide with Austin Scott and AF Walsh for 3rd position, and he's already starting to pull alongside Curtis Stevenson, the 98, quickly making a run up to 2nd place, as Wells is starting to open up a lead.
Cal Farrell there, he was in the battle for the win in his heat. As we look back here and back out the field at some of the drivers who had to fight their way into the show, and others who were already locked in there just trying to make sure they finished better than they did their heats.
Absolutely. I think I saw one of them bounce off the wall. We got keep spinning out at the back. Oh. It's Benjamin Snyder and Nicolas Santiago. Caution flag is out now for the first time on just lap number 4, and you kind of saw that one coming, the way they were racing each other so hard in the opening laps, and the 56 and the 50 are the ones that lost out.
And you hate that for the 50 there of Snyder, because he's one of those who struggled to make races, and While he doesn't look like he had any major damage, it's really going to be a struggle here as we are three wide pace formation. I don't know what we're doing here.
They're trying to settle out the running order because they were running 3 and 4 wide at the moment of caution. They're just trying to decide the order they were running at the moment of the yellow flag. We're going to get to a replay here in just a moment to see what happened to Nicholas Santiago and Benjamin Snyder here. Put us under the caution flag for the first time on just the 4th lap of the race. If this isn't any indication of how wild the racing is here, we're in for a long day, I think. Watching this from Nicholas Santiago, and Benjamin Snyder just sent to dive into turn 3, and it just was never going to work. And Santiago was a bystander and all that. It's a really tough break for both of these guys. Santiago, because this is his first truck race at the Springfield Mile. Benjamin Snyder, because this is his first race, period, of the 2026 season. And he was so hoping to get started on the right foot. Now he's at a disadvantage early.
It's very unfortunate, but there's a chance for them to be able to rebound. It's still early, so as long as they're not too damaged, because we did see him hit the wall, so if they're not too damaged, we should be able to see them rebound a little bit here.
So we're cycling under this, our first caution period of the day. David Wells and AF Walsh are still your leaders. And, we've got one on pit road, and it's their teammate, Christian Van Heerden in the 22. We're hearing reports of a mechanical fault on this Red Bull TomTom Ford F-150 that has forced Van Heerden into the pits. Hopefully they're able to fix it and keep him in the game, because this is a really tough break for the other of the Fingai Saitomi vehicles.
Yeah, that just real unfortunate. We've seen him have his flashes of success since taking over this truck from DJ Curtis, and you really hate to see that for someone with such promise, but that's still early in the season. He's got some time to get things back into play here.
And consider that we've got a couple road courses coming up pretty soon on the truck schedule, so he's going to love that when we get to racing out at Portland, for example. That's the very next race after this one. So he's going to have a really good time there. The good news for Van Heerden, he did get that issue solved. He's back out on the racetrack, and more importantly, he didn't lose a lap. So he's going to beat lineup 42nd, but he will still be on the lead lap as we're going to get ready for a restart, hopefully within the next lap or so.
And meanwhile, under the you basically got Fingai Saitomi bookending the field at the moment as they run under the pace laps, and there we go, the lights are off, and I'm curious to see just how quickly Van Heerden gets back up there, because if there's a long enough green flag run, and if these guys don't hold him up that he's immediately around right now aren't too much of a hold up for him, he should be able to get back up there relatively quickly.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him up at the front later once the field thins out a bit. But we're coming to the restart here on lap 8. We've got David Wells, who's led, I believe, every lap of this race so far. AF Walsh runs second, Blaine Saylor third, Curtis Stevenson, Austin Scott rounding out the top 5. Cal Farrell 6, Robert Weaver 7, Brandon Beal, Jeremy Frey, Santi Messi completing the top 10. And we're going to get set for the restart. Hopefully, we'll be able to have some clean and green racing going forward, because that's what we love to see here at the Springfield Mile. Pace truck pulls off.
And with the pace truck off, we're in the hands of Wells here as he's getting ready to go. And the flagman has the flag in hand, and we should be going green here. There we are. Walsh already trying to make a move on his teammate.
And Saylor's going to try and make a move on both of them. He'll wait quick to make a move down in the turn war on the other side. Field already starting to fan out. You see Scott further back trying to make a move on Stevenson already. But you're right. These guys are quick to the trigger on these restarts. And nowhere is that more true than here at Springfield. Because you've got to make positions when you have the opportunity to. Because once you get spread out, it's a little harder to make passes than when you're all bunched up together like this.
And when you got drivers who didn't have the greatest of starts, there's too many of them to list. But if you got a number of drivers that have slid back since the start of the race that are looking to try to make their way back forward, the field starts to thin out before they can get up here. They're going to be in for a long one.
And meanwhile, Robert Weaver trying to fight his way towards the top 5. He's getting to the inside side now for Curtis Stevenson and Cal Farrell to move the 20 up into what would be fourth. And there he goes, up into fourth position. David Wells has still hung on to lead every lap of this race so far. He's going to have some new challengers for too long. Here comes Brandon Beal. Here comes Logan Jones. Jeremy Frey's back in the top 10. Derek Hamill, Elias Bershey, Santi Messi, they're all back there trying to get some moves made. But right now, his immediate threats continue to be Saylor and Walsh's team.
Yeah, that's what he wants to see is his teammates still there, even though he prefers his teammates to be between him and Saylor right now. But do what you got to do and hold on to that lead. But I don't think he's gonna be able to hold on to it for long now.
Ooh, we got one on pit road, and it's Benjamin Snyder again. Looks like he had more issues than we initially thought on this 50 truck, and now he will drop off the lead lap. That is a major shame for this 50 truck, because this is his first start of the season. Was hoping for some good run, and that's not what he's getting so far. He still has a chance to rebound. If we get another yellow, he could get his lap back. Barrier on the way out, so not sure what that was about. But up at the front, Blaine Saylor now to the lead of the race.
Yeah, and he wants, like you said, like we both have said actually, he wants to continue his momentum and win another race. He really wants to keep that early advantage on victories here, but Walsh and Wells right now are going to be the immediate has something to say about that, as they're now 3 wide on.
And the teammates have ganged up on Blaine Saylor to try and get the lead away. Walsh and Wells across the line together, separated by just 8 1/1000ths of a second. Those are the margins you have here at the Springfield Mile. And for AF Walsh, he is trying to make up for a disastrous practice and qualifying session that saw him near the bottom of the leaderboard. He rallied in his heat, won that, he started second today. Now he's on track for something really good.
Yeah, he just needs to be able to hold on, although holding on for the remainder of this race is going to be impossible, but if he can get in the lead late in this race and hold on, that will be the big ticket.
Ooh, we had a little contact back there between Logan Jones and Curtis Stevenson. Looks like they settled it out for the moment. But we're reaching the 20% mark in this race, and we've already had some great racing. We had an accident already, but for the most part, it's been clear sailing out in front for the Fingai Saitomi teammates AF Walsh and David Wells. They've led the majority of the laps so far.
Yeah, meanwhile, Saylor again trying to come up here and have something to say about that, but I'd say these three all need to be looking up because Express Motorsports has a driver coming up in the picture here with Stevenson wanting to say something about their lead.
And this 98 has finished in the top 5 in every single round of the season up to this point. He'd love to continue that here, but even if he finishes top 10 instead, that's still a great day for him to keep his points intact. We've got a little side swiping going on between the 08 and the 02. But as long as Stevenson can keep having these consistently solid runs, he'll run away with this.
And that's all you need to do. Consistency is key when you can have it, and right now he has it as he goes. Now he's going for the lead, bringing the 20 with him.
And the 66. So, yeah, and here's Weaver trying to take a look 3 wide on the bottom ahead of Stevenson and Wells, but it looks as though he's going to tuck back in line. And, yeah, you said it. We've got racing all over this racetrack. From the lead all the way back to the tail end of the field. No matter where you look, there's always something going on. That's what we love about the Springfield Mile is Logan Jones. Jones bounces off the barrier on the inside. Fortunately, he only had one brief moment with a 3, and the rest is pretty solid for him.
And he was trying to go 4 wide, and it was almost disastrous. 4 wide, but yeah, it was almost disastrous. And 3 wide you can get away with okay. 4 wide, yeah, I don't recommend it.
Nor would I, but that's just the nature of racing here sometimes. Is we've got a battle now for the top spot. We've got Walsh, we've got Stevenson, Wells, Jones, Messi, Weaver, Saylor. They're all battling it out really hard up here at the front of the pack. And we're already on lap 20. It feels like we've only completed about 10 laps the way these guys have been battling the entire time.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to watch because we've seen it happen in the past. When the leaders get to racing so aggressively, if you look at the back of the field here, sometimes that results in them ending up in the back of the field themselves with wounded trucks or in the garage. So they need to be real careful that they don't get too aggressive.
Absolutely, because you can't win the race on lap 21, 22. You can absolutely lose it here. And that's got to be in the back of all these guys' minds back here. As Walsh and Wells get real close to each other out of two. They keep it rolling, though. We're still green.
Yeah, that's if the teammates get it together, it makes for an interesting team meeting on the following Monday. But they keep it together so far. As we see right now, it is now looking like it's going to become a Chevy-dominated section of this race if these three can get ahead.
Yeah, it's Logan Jones out in front, CT Messi, Blaine Saylor. We've got three of those Chevrolets out in front, followed by a couple of Fords and a Toyota in the form of the 20 of Robert Weaver. But Saylor is just doing whatever he can to get the lead back. Look at how great this racing is up at the front. This is why we come to Springfield every year. Oh, but Weaver.
A little 4 wide again.
That's not good. Oh, and he makes contact into Stevenson. Frey and Stevenson. Hard into the outside wall. And that's our second caution of the day. And critically, it's involved Curtis Stevenson, the points leader, the man who's finished top 5 in every race up to this point. That's gone out the window now as a result of this crash.
Jeremy Frey was right there, looking like he could capitalize on things, but I saw the 4 wide. I knew something was going to go down.
And it certainly did, and it has wiped out two more contenders from contention to win this race, and that is a mega shame. Because look at Curtis Stevenson, look at the damage he's got. We do track minimum speed here at Springfield because of the intense nature of the racing here. Even if Stevenson does get back out there, he might get dinged for minimum speed, and that could end his race anyway. That's just heartbreaking for the 98. He has such a strong start to the year, and now his points lead he may still hold on to it, but it'll be all but wiped out.
Yeah, you really hate to see that, and you see them sorting out the field here. You knew it was coming, and like I said, the leaders get to fight. There's at least going to be somebody who's not going to come out of this right way as we come to the pits.
Yeah, and it looks as though we're going to have... I think Benjamin Snyder will get the free pass. He'll get his lap back here, which is good news for him. But now Curtis Stevenson will fall off the lead lap if he can even continue in this race. These pit stops should be just for fuel only to get them to the end of the race, and sure enough, that's what everybody's doing. Tires mean absolutely nothing here, so you might as well just get fuel only and go on your way. And that's pretty much what everybody's done. So we're going to get you a look at what happened here to put us under this caution flag. Oh, and we've got more trouble on pit road. Mitchell Carter and Dennis Kudryashov in the 99. Both of them have significant damage on their trucks, and that has got to be something that happened on pit road because they were clean going in.
Yeah, that's another express truck down. That's unfortunate for that team.
Absolutely it is. What in the world is unfolded here to get this? As Snyder's going to come down pit road here to get his service, he'll get the free pass afterwards. What in the world is unfolded here? We've had multiple incidents in the span of this one caution period. As look, Robert Weaver's back on pit road too in the 20. He was running in the top 10 at the time.
What happened to him?
That's both of the Blue Sky Racing trucks involved in some kind of trouble, and that's not going to make Cale Teskar Jr. a very happy man watching this race. But we'll get you a look at what happened to Curtis Stevenson first, and then we'll take a look at the pit road incident after that. It all starts right here, I think, with Curtis Stevenson. And Robert Weaver, he clipped that inside barrier, got all out of shape, hit Frey, who hit Stevenson. Pretty much the same story as we saw in the heat race yesterday. Oh, and RJ Bishop sideswiped the 98 for good measure as well. That's your standard incident, though, at Springfield. Someone hits that inside barrier, they wash up into traffic, and it's on from there.
Yeah, Frey and Stevenson had nowhere to go when that happened, and you really hate it for both of them. But, yeah, especially Stevenson, because that could be a points lead loss.
So this was Mitchell Carter. He was on his way to pit road. He was in a fairly decent position, it has to be said. I'm just curious to see what in the world happens here. He pulls into his pit right here, gets his service. You see Kudryashov there on his way in. I think it's going to be a case of one coming in, one coming out. They meet in the middle. Oh, yeah. Right there.
Ouch.
And that forces Carter to the left. It bunches them together into the pit wall there. Oh, my goodness me, those two. Well, there's something you don't see every day, and that, I think, is going to wipe out both of those trucks from competing in the rest of this race.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate and very bizarre and wild, but they'll move on from this and have a chance to rebound at Portland.
So the good news for Robert Weaver is he's back out onto the racetrack and he's still on the lead lap. The bad news is that's the only bit of good news that Blue Sky Racing has at the moment, because Mitchell Carter is likely done for the day as a result of that pit lane incident. Yep, there he goes. Kudryashov, I would expect to join him in the garage. Maybe Jeremy Frey as well after his incident. Curtis Stevenson is a lap down, and I'm very curious to see, because the lights should be out on the safety vehicle this right here. Yes, they are. So Stevenson will line up on the inside, and this is going to be the moment of the truth for that 98, if he can make minimum speed or not.
That's going to be the real test. You said it. He's here. He's ready to see if he can hang in there, and he does not want to have to be told to park it. So whatever repairs they had to make, they better work for his sake. So we'll see here.
And we're gonna be able to tell really quickly as well, because if he's not able to make minimum speed, we're gonna see it in real time, him falling through the field. As you see Benjamin Snyder at the back, he is back on the lead lap with that free pass, and we're gonna get ready to restart this race on lap 29 with Curtis Stevenson on the inside, Blaine Saylor on the outside. This is the restart, and we'll see what Saylor can do now that he's got a lap truck to his inside.
That's going to be a test here. So he's got a good truck, but the question is, will that 98 just fall like a rock, or will it continue to be a pest? And well,
I think we're already getting our answer at this point. Yeah, that 98 is a moving chicane. They're going to wait until everybody rolls past him, and then they're going to give him the black flag, which is going to put him out of this race.
Yeah, this right here is hurting Hershey, De Lorenzo, and a bunch of others. And they're finally finding their way past him, and now the officials just got to hope that he doesn't cause a wreck by being in the middle of everything.
And meanwhile, Logan Jones is taking the lead away from Lance Saylor. A.F. Walsh has also moved past the you can just see the speed difference. He's 5 seconds a lap slower than everybody else. They're gonna let the rest of the field pass him, and then they'll drop the black flag on him. Tough break for Curtis Stevenson. Like I said, he finished in the top 5 in every race up to this point. He sure won't today. So the down below for Curtis Stevenson's race. His day is over. But up at the front, we still got an express truck in the top 10, that being Brandon Beal in the battle for 7th right now. But at the front, Logan Jones, Lance Saylor, and there you see Stevenson pulling it in, calling it a day. He'll be back at Portland, I'm sure, ready to compete. But that's just got to be heartbreaking for him. He was on pace to have such a great season up to this point.
And you see right here, they're trying to go 4 wide again with Saylor was able to get out of there before things too messy, but yeah, 0-2 and then 6-6. Oh, for a second there, I thought the 6-6 hit the wall, but it looks like he's all right. So we stay clear, and Saylor now trying to run away, but he's not going to be.
Because this is Springfield, and you're just never able to properly run away here. Not with the racing as good as it is. And talking about guys making their way to the front of the field, look at that one truck. We always talk about this one truck coming from the back to the front every single week, and he's done it again. Eric Monaco, he started down in 29th today. It's only taken him about half the race to make his way up into the top 5. So this one truck is phenomenal with Eric Monaco behind the wheel, and I'm very surprised that he hasn't notched up at least one win already.
Yeah, we saw it at Nashville. We've seen it pretty much just every race, except for Daytona, because Daytona is Daytona. But this one truck, as he goes for the lead on Wells here, he is, Monaco, if he doesn't win today, he's going to win soon after.
Here come the Sims today, or next time out of Portland. It could be anywhere, really. This one truck is just that good everywhere he goes. And there he goes to the lead, with Logan Jones now fighting to his inside, trying to get things away from him. Easy come, easy go, I guess, for this one truck. He got the lead, but immediately loses it to the 66, maybe even more. I was looking for Rebecca again. How about Tanner Browning in the 55? He's fought his way up to the finish on Chili's ride. He's now fighting for a spot in the top 5 with Brandon
LaFleur back there, too.
Yeah, that I was just about to make mention of that. Ricky LaFleur, he had a really strong first impression at Nashville to start his career. This is just his 3rd career start. He started this race down in 22nd. Yeah, LaFleur started this race down in 22nd. He's already made his way to the top 10 as well. We're about to hit the halfway lap this time. Looks as though David Wells is going to be the one leading it. Yes, he is.
And you mentioned Browning. I was
LaFleur into the barrier once again through turn 1. But good news is this time they're able to keep it pointed straight.
Yeah, this is a big deal here for him. Honestly, looking forward to seeing how he finishes out this race.
And the whole of this season, for that matter, because LaFleur is going to be in this truck for a lot of races at the tail end of the season, so very curious to see how he handles things on various track types going forward, because this is his first race on a dirt track, obviously, and he's doing a very good job keeping in touch with his more experienced teammate, Logan Jones, in the 66.
Yeah, he's hanging in there, and, well, he's kind of leaning on his bumper, getting ready to move to his inside here, and welcome back to the top 10, Derek Hamill. He's back up here now, and I'm seeing Stoyan, De Lorenzo, and Van Heerden. We're looking at him. I said I was looking. Not back in the top 10 yet, but he's getting there.
Yeah, he's fighting for a spot just outside the top 15 right now. He's Van Heerden. His spot fought his way up to 16th spot, battling Van Heerden putting a strong performance from the back to the front right now. And here is De Lorenzo, like you were talking about. This truck won this race last year, and De Lorenzo hasn't yet made an appearance in the top 10 today, but he's got plenty of time to change that. And further up the field, Darren Mills in the 45. I've been meaning to talk about the 45 sometime in this race, because this is where he made his Turbo Truck Series debut last year, and he made such a strong impression that I was looking forward to the time when we came back to see what Darren Mills was able to do today, and he is not disappointed. He started this race first. He's now fighting just outside the top 10.
Yeah, meanwhile, Monaco, you talk about the top 10, he got shuffled back. Now he's trying to find his way back up to the front again, fighting for Beal there with Anzac right behind him. And we're looking, you said it, Nashville, and with multiple races left for him to make a major impression, I don't think it's going to take any more than this, because if you can run on dirt after doing an impressive run at a track like Nashville Speedway, like LaFleur's doing right now, leading this event, you're definitely proving yourself.
This is not a second race in his career he has led, and this is only his 3rd start ever, so he's 2 for 3 on leading laps in his races. Excellent stuff from Ricky LaFleur. Monaco now diving down the inside of Logan Jones. Out of turn 2 we go, alongside the likes of Walsh and Browning. Monaco keeps it to the inside, trying to stay out of trouble, and he backs out of that. Good mindful driving from that one truck.
That is a better mindset right there from Monaco. We know his experience. As we look back here, we see De Lorenzo and Hamill fighting just outside the top 10 there. And Audrey Anzac getting back in the picture here a little bit with the 45, as you mentioned earlier, just hanging in there, doing a good job, doing what he needs. That's some smart driving by a lot of these drivers here.
Meanwhile, as Wells goes to the inside of LaFleur to take the lead back, you're right. Darren Mills is just driving a methodical race. He knows how to run well here. He did it last year in an Express Motorsports truck, and now he's chasing down the exact same truck he drove last year, albeit with a different number, that being the truck Brandon Beal is driving now. So Mills doing a having a really strong performance here in this 45 for Fitzwater Australia Racing. That's why Fitzwater hired this guy, proving that was the right thing to do.
Yeah, we saw what he could do. Like you said, we saw what he could do with an express truck. Now we're seeing what he can do with a Fitzwater truck, as now he's moving to the inside of his old ride while also having to fight off a strong rookie in Van Heerden.
Absolutely. And here comes Santi Messi trying to get the lead for the first time. There's the green truck getting by LaFleur here to take the lead for himself. We've had some great racing in this race already. We're almost at the 2/3 mark, honestly. So there's still a lot of racing left to go. And if it's anything like we've seen so far today, I'm at the edge of my seat, and I've commentated these races before. I know how strong a racing product we get here, and hopefully some people are learning that here.
Yeah, like last year was certainly exciting, especially towards the end. About had to carry me on a stretcher. I got so excited with how that one played out, but
contact and we into the wall. Monaco Browning into the wall. That's going to bring out caution for the 3rd time in this race. And Eric Monaco is having a really strong day, and that is likely going to bring an end to his race. And Tanner Browning likewise was having a really good day as well. Both of their days were as a result of this crash.
You hate to see that, but I saw the contact. I had a feeling that but it was not meant to be for such a thing. And you see one of the strongest trucks of the day, one of the strongest trucks of the season, probably going to be done for the day, if not just running around laps down.
That's tough for Eric Monaco. He was doing such a good job. But he clawed his way from the back to the front and gets caught up in someone else's mess, it looked like to me. We'll get to a look at what happened here in a moment, but it's safe to say that one truck, and for good measure the 55, safe to say they won't be performing as well now as they did a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, you really hate that for Monaco, especially for Browning, because he doesn't get runs like that all the time. So
no.
I mean, he's no slouch, but he certainly doesn't get the greatest runs like a lot of the seen up at the front today.
So here is Eric Monaco running up in the top 10. But I think what happens is he gets hooked onto the left rear of David Wells, sends him down to Browning, and gets hooked by Audrey Anzac. It's the hot topic of this race: chain reaction incidents that start one place and end in a whole other place, and that's what we've seen all day, and that's what's ruined Eric Monaco's race for sure.
Yeah, we see it saved Nicholas Santiago from going a lap down. So
sure did, yeah.
That's one person who's happy that this happened.
He's about the only one, maybe, because for Eric Monaco, he's certainly not happy about this. That is for sure. And as he crosses the line on this replay, we're going to get back to the live feed, and yes, he is out of the race as a result of this crash. Also out of the race from a while ago, Jeremy Frey never got back out on track. He had a fuel pickup problem as a result of that crash. He is done for today, as is Curtis Stevenson, who was black flagged. So we still have 37 trucks in this race. They're all still on the lead lap, so we don't have a free pass this time around. And we're going to probably go back racing sometime around 20 laps to go. Hopefully that's the last restart we get, because the racing's been great when we haven't been under yellow.
Oh, absolutely. It's been really good. And you were seeing some drivers starting to pick their way up into the top 10. I mentioned De Lorenzo, then obviously Hamill flashes, but there's been others that have been were knocking on the door.
Like this guy right here, Van Heerden. He's all the way up to 6th spot.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All the way up to 6th place. He's back up with his teammates, as a matter of fact. So all of the FPM trucks now in the top half dozen. And that's impressive considering the up and down day this 22 has had.
Yeah, up, down, and now back up. And he would prefer it to stay up the rest of this race, which, you know, like I said, we're going to be coming up on roughly 20 to go when we get the green flag back in the air.
Yep, lights out on the safety vehicle. We'll go back racing with, I believe, 22 laps to go in this race. Santi Messi has led the last couple under this yellow flag. Ricky LaFleur's led a bunch in second. David Wells has led the most laps today. He lines up third. Logan Jones fourth. AF Walsh rounds out the top five. We're now about half a lap away from going back racing.
We were talking about the 45 earlier with Darren Mills. He's up in the mix now. He's in the top 10. He managed to get to the top 10 when they... So, I'm curious to see what he can do. And, of course, Austin Scott, he was the heat winner of his heat. So, I'm really looking forward to see what those two can do. Perhaps some of the drivers, like these 3-4 right here outside the top 10, waiting to see what happens.
Yeah, we're just doing a quick scan through the field, see where your favorite driver is running at the end of our third caution flag of the day. We're going to get this race restarted here on lap 54. Messi, your race leader, heading towards the starting line now, and we're back underway with about 22 laps to go.
Yeah, LaFleur took a slight peek, but didn't really make much very daring move, although I am not surprised to see Wells making a move already, and for a second, oh yeah, that's what I thought. The 66 was going to the inside as well.
Yeah, they all want to win this race, but they're going to have to go through the three to make it happen. Wells now, the inside of LaFleur for the second spot. He's already going to try to make a move on Messi as well. Out of turn 4 to complete the first lap after the restart, and Messi's still your leader, but this 92 is really on a mission to get the lead back.
And you know, LaFleur, he got a taste of the lead. He's currently fighting to stay in third, but I have a feeling that if he can have, he's trying to go to the inside here. He's trying to make something happen. He's going to be stuck in the middle of 3 wide, but I'm still impressed with how good this driver is.
And how about that for David Wells? He just turned his personal fastest lap of the race right there. If we take 20 to go. But that might not be enough to deny Ricky LaFleur, because he ducks down to the inside, trying to get the lead away from the likes of David Wells. And he's got his teammate Logan Jones to help him out, see how this works.
And I can't help but notice on the running order, KJ Hayes has found his way into the top 10 of the 91. Got by the 15 of Austin Scott, and as they run right now. Yeah, and I know some people will get on me about hyping up my own drivers, but having not been in the top 10 all day, I am happy that we're fighting for a top 10 right now as we see the 66 take the lead.
Yeah, the 66 has been no slouch either. He's done a really nice job all day, and he now leads once again. But he's got his teammate to deal with, Ricky LaFleur. They're both trying to get their first wins in the Truck Series, but Logan Jones has been doing this quite a bit longer than Ricky LaFleur has. And AF Walsh has been doing it longer than both of them have, and he's now driving to the inside, as is David Wells. This is the racing we know and love here at Springfield.
And I will say, if LaFleur were to somehow win this one, holding off the likes of the defending champion of the series, I would say he would definitely prove himself. Right now, still too many laps left to decide it.
Yeah, we've got 16 and a half laps to go now. But Saylor and Messi, the Team Duke teammates, are trying to make an impression on this race. They're sending one down the inside on Logan Jones. Saylor's now up in the first spot. He's not done yet. He's going for third as well.
Yeah, he really wants to go for it. And speaking of going for it here, hello, Johnny.
Yeah, Di Lorenzo is now up to 9th place. He's gotten past Van Heerden to do that. He's also, and KJ Hayes is now moving on Brandon Beal for 7th. That 91 has been really consistent this season. He just hasn't had any top 10 finishes yet. So if he were to get one of those, that would be a real good kickstart to his season, I'm sure, in this New England Cruisers Racing number 91. He is a teammate, remember, to Eric Monaco, and we saw how good that one truck was earlier. Maybe this 91 is going to pick up the baton.
Oh, that would be a big thing for New England Cruisers Racing, although he had to back out a 4 wide because he's seen what happens going into these corners with 4 wide and did the wise thing to back out of it and try and move at another time as LaFleur is setting himself up for his next move.
On David Wells in his racing race. We're still 3 wide though with Logan Jones, with AF Walsh and with Blade Sailor. Now Hayes dives down to the inside trying to make something happen, and now Di Lorenzo and Van Heerden are working together trying to get a move made on Brandon Beal. This is some great racing, and we're talking about some big guys that we haven't talked about yet in this race up to this point. So that's what Springfield advertises, and it does a really good job of it. LaFleur back to the lead as we close in on time again.
Messi trying to go back to second here, and this, I'm hyping him up a lot, but I think it's justified. LaFleur is proving himself here. Like I said, you can run on dirt. If you can run on just about any track, we're going to find out more about him at like the road course and other tracks, but he has certainly proven himself worthy, and he's only just getting started.
Because remember, this is only his third career start in the series, and if he can run it like this in just his third start, imagine how well he's going to do with time. So this 72 is putting in the work. And remember as well, the 72 truck won the last Turbo Truck Series race we had. Behind the wheel. That's a 6-time Superstar Series winner behind the wheel. This is a guy who's only making his third ever one-up start at all. Ooh, Shriak bounces off the wall.
Fortunately, he had plenty of space to avoid ruining someone's day but with the contact. But yeah, that's something we've been putting up with all race long. If we take a look at Toy in there.
Yeah, he's reporting some engine issues on that 51. We'll see if he can make it. But LaFleur is actually extending his lead now in front of the field with 10 laps to go. So this is really becoming a race between LaFleur, Wells, maybe Messi, but I think it's going to come down to the 92 and the 72 for this win. And man, if, like you said, if LaFleur can hang on to win this race, that is going to be reason enough for a lot of team owners to take notice.
Absolutely, and I think it's safe to say Robbers Racing will have first dibs on him because they're the ones giving him this chance, and it would be their truck that he would win in. And what the deal it would be for it to go back-to-back victories with two different drivers.
Yeah, and he's not the only driver they're looking at. They've got modified star Jack Davis on their radar as well. So imagine a lineup of LaFleur and Davis next year. That would be a big one to talk about, in addition to Logan Jones and Beaverton as well. But now Wells takes the lead back. LaFleur sends one back down his inside, trying to take it immediately back, and they're banging doors out of turn two.
He wants this one. LaFleur wants this one. Wells wants it too. But LaFleur really wants to show that he is worthy of this ride and a full-time effort going into 2027.
Robbers Racing is going to have a big decision to make whether or not they pick up LaFleur, pick up Davis, keep Logan Jones. There's so much on the table for that. I trust they'll make decisions they think is right. Although we're coming up on 6 laps to go, and Ricky LaFleur is in a really good position. He's got to fend off a lot of good trucks like Walsh, Messi, David Wells. They're all trying to get the lead away from him, and Messi, I think, is actually going to take it away at the line here.
Just barely, but he did. If that had been the finish, oh boy! But
that would have
still a few laps left.
That would have been almost a new record for the Truck Series. Remember, the record is 2 1/1000ths of a second, set at Michigan a while back. Ironically enough, by Santi Messi as he beat his teammate Andre Anzac. He's no stranger to those finishes. But we're coming to 5 laps to go, and time is of the essence for everybody in this track.
Absolutely, as you see, things are shuffling around quite a bit. See, the 10 is shuffled back down to the place with all that, and Van Heerden's still hanging on to a good spot there.
And Elias Birch
right now. Yeah, he was out of it first in, but now he's proven that he deserves the ride he's in. And that team has picked a good driver. I definitely believe in him, given what we saw of him in modifieds and what we've seen so far this year.
Meanwhile, it's a Robbers Racing battle out front, but they're also catching Nicolas Santiago, who's fought desperately hard to stay on the lead lap all day long. We might run out of time, though, because we're coming up on 3 laps to go. It'll be a question of if they catch the 56 or not, and if they do, will he play a factor in who wins this thing?
That's the big question here. Is looking back through the running where I see Bershey gain another spot by taking another Van Heerden, as we see the drivers needed on each other.
That's Jones and Wells banging doors down the back straightaway.
LaFleur's loving that.
Yeah, he's I think Jones is now in defense mode, trying to get his teammate as big a lead as he can get at this point in the race. We're coming up on the end of this race very quickly. We only have 2 laps to go. LaFleur's got as big a lead as we've seen anybody have today. The problem is, Nicolas Santiago, will he be in the way? Oh, and LaFleur into the wall attitude. That could be costly.
Not immediately costly, but it could be a detriment in the long run, as we see right now. He is hanging in there, and you were right. I think you were right that Jones was playing a little defense while he could, but now this is all on him.
White flag in the air, we're on to the final lap, and Ricky LaFleur is driving the race of his life at the moment. I don't think they're going to get to Santiago in time for him to be a factor. They're 3 wide behind him. That's perfect for Ricky LaFleur, who, in just his 3rd career start in the 1-Up Turbo Truck Series, is about to make the biggest impression of them all. Out of turn 4, the final time. How about this? Ricky LaFleur, 1st career win and career start number 3. Back-to-back for Robbers Racing as well. That is incredible.
Sign him, Miles. Just sign him before someone else takes him from you, really. Because he's proven himself just in these 3 starts.
It is incredible what this 72 is capable of. David Wells brings it home 2nd after leading the most laps. Walsh 3rd, Jones 4th. Messi rounds out the top 5 ahead of Saylor, Van Heerden, Hershey, Beal, and Di Lorenzo in the top 10. But what a coming out party for Ricky LaFleur. This is a really big deal for him. And I would be very surprised if someone doesn't get him for 2027 at the rate that he's going.
Yeah, like I said, Robbers Racing needs to sign him before he gets taken by someone else, because I don't care if it's only 3 starts. This kid is going somewhere.
Absolutely he is. And I'm surprised that no more people aren't focused on him after what he did at Nashville, but I'm sure a lot of people are going to take notice of him now that he's got this win. And one last minor thing to report at the end of this race, Jochen Stoyan, he was not able to make the engine last all the way to the checkered flag. He fell out of the race in the final 10 laps. Tough break for the Fitzwater Australia team, but they will rebound, I'm sure. We head to Portland in a few weeks' time. But with that being said, from James Ellison, from myself as well, thanks for joining us for a truly epic day of racing at Springfield. We'll see you again in a couple of weeks at Portland International Raceway up in the Pacific Northwest. The Turbo Truck Series' first trip to Portland, their first road course race of the season. That's going to be music to some people's ears, and for others, they're just going to want to try and hang in there. But until we see you at Portland, so long from the Springfield Mile, and a big congratulations to Ricky LaFleur, who in just his 3rd career start in the Turbo Truck Series, leads a lot of laps and posts the first victory of what I'm sure will be a very fruitful career in 1-Up competition.